Nasaksihan ng boxing fans dito sa Glasgow, Scotland ang isang mahigpit at puno-puno ng tensyon na laban sa pagitan ni Samuel Duran kontra Donnie Hood ng bansang Scotland. Dito, susubukan depensahan ang ating kababayan na si Samuel Duran ang kanyang WBC Bantamweight International Championship. Ang Pinoy na tubong Bukidnon ay walang takot na dumayo pa sa bansang Scotland para lamang depensahan ang kanyang titulo kontra sa paboritong manalo at hometown hero na si Donnie Hood. Sa unang round pa lamang, parehong pinakita ng dalawang boksingero ang kanilang determinasyon. Si Samuel Duran ay nagpakita ng tapang, patuloy na sumusubok na makapasok at makapunto sa laban kontra sa mas veterano si Hood. Samantala, si Donnie Hood naman ay umaasa sa kanyang karanasan at mas malinis na mga suntok upang kontrolin ang takbo ng laban.
Bit of a surprise winner of this championship apparently was Duran, put in there as a warm-up job. Coming off a winning record after agreeing to defend against Hood, he thought he was going to have one or two easier fights, and in fact got beaten on split decisions in Japan and against another Filipino. So there's high hopes indeed for Donnie Hood.
Yeah, of course it does. Nothing stirs a Scotsman up more than the sound of the bagpipes. But Reg, this is already looking like a good little match. It's a good thoughtful start from him. We could have a cracking little match here.
It's not normally the fastest of starters in the contest that I've seen Hood. Nothing in the weight, by the way, only 12 ounces advantage. So Hood at 8'5" and 12.
Habang umuusad ang mga round, lalong naging dikdikan ng palitan. May mga sandaling nagmistulang pabor para kay Samuel Duran ang laban. Lalo na sa mga pagkakataong nagiging agresibo siya at napapaatras ang hometown hero ng Glasgow, Scotland na si Donnie Hood.
Nice little punch from Hood there, Reg, a little left uppercut lead. Caught Duran in the chin, didn't trouble him in the slightest, but an adventurous little punch from Hood there. To leave things at long range at the moment, he's just stepping out of reach, causing the Thailander, the Filipino, to reach for him. He's maybe trying to draw him into some mistakes. A little bit of authority coming into Hood's punching now. This is better.
Champion tends to be just a bit out of distance with his punches. He was leading punches there, falling a little short. So he won almost there.
But I think we can give Hood some credit for that to really heat up.
Well, he certainly looked a lot better in this contest, Hood, than he did with Ray Midas. And even when he fought Brian Holmes, it took a long time to get off.
Mas naging aktibo si Duran, pinipilit ang close range. May ilang solid shots na pinakawalan ng Pilipino.
On his last fight here in March, he looked the business.
Sa round number 3, dito nagsimulang ipakita ni Donnie Hood ang kanyang karanasan. Pantay ang laban at talaga namang kapwa gustong iuwi ang WBC International Bantamweight Championship.
Hasn't really done that. He's boxed well and careful, but Duran, as he comes out for the third round here, he's looking more confident than he was. I think that was more of a stumble, Reg. There wasn't really any decent punches landing from Hood then. See, Duran really confident now, trying to back Hood.
Got a very wide stance, hasn't he, Duran?
See, you can see Duran now getting set to try to put some power into the punch. That's why he's spreading his legs.
Well, you're right, though, of course, that Hood has that clever little shift back of a few inches that makes the champion punches fall short, at least some of them, as there.
Hood's making Duran miss quite well with the punches, but he's going to have to come back with 2 or 3 counters to pile up some points of his own.
Minute to go in the third. 3 rounds, Jim, and it's living up to the fight night standard now. See, we've got a few crackers there.
I expected just a little crude slugger, but he's not that. Quite the opposite, actually. Some good solid shots coming in there from Hood, but this fella's warmed himself up to the situation by the look of it.
Sa round number 4, nagkaroon ng sunod-sunod na palitan sa gitna ng ring. Tumama si Samuel Duran ng ilang mabibigat na suntok na ikinagulat ng mga fans.
He tends to be a little bit theatrical, Samuel Creef, and
swayed away. He did duck low, but he was well out of range. He was actually backing away from Hood. I just hope the referee doesn't want to get too involved here, because it may be taking place slightly out of range. But once they get up close, there's some good action, some good punches there.
Good left hook dig to the body there. Hood was also left his head exposed a little bit and was caught.
See, with enough counters, he's going to have to be a little bit more positive. But plenty of time to go, thankfully. That was better from Hood. I think this referee really is going to be a pest, Reg.
Oh, well, I called that one right for a start, didn't I? I've seen him work before. He drives me crazy. It's the expression on his face, Chip, as though, how dare you do that in the ring that I'm working in.
Well, Hood beginning to back Duran up again as he was in the first couple of rounds, so that's a better sign.
Sa ika-5 round, isa sa pinakamagandang round ng laban. Walang umaatras, dito malinaw na walang gustong sumuko sa dalawang boksingero.
Well, they both spent the first couple of rounds having a look at each other. But this is where Hood is at his best, when the pace heats up and he can start putting punches together. He's not really a single shot boxer. He likes to be aggressive and let the punches flow.
A little bit worried about Duran coming on a bit, Jim. He seems to be getting faster, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, Hood is at his best when he manages to back the champion up. Quite clever, longer arms than you would expect. Hood has managed to keep out of range of his long punches for most of the time, but the champion is getting a little bit closer.
He certainly hits, I think, Hood, the more solid puncher of the two, wouldn't you say? It's crisp puncher, isn't he?
Yeah, but it's not having the desired effect. He landed a couple of good punches at the beginning of this round, but Duran's still pushing back. This is better from Hood. This is where he wants to start pushing him back.
I love the way he flows that left hand uppercut, and he gets him in a series. It's not easy to do that. Oh, the crowd now really rising. You could do with just a decibel down here and there, I tell you that, with the crowd noise.
Well, this is the first time Hood has been able to sustain an attack. This is good work from Hood now. If he can just keep this rhythm going. And still, Duran coming back again.
Switched to southpaw too now. He's done that in previous contests apparently, Duran. Bit of a nuisance to fight this boy, isn't he, Jim Duran? The way he keeps switching styles like that, and he flows the punches quickly. As he switches stance, he lets the punches go right away.
Yeah, and Hood looked to be getting on top in the early part of the round, but Duran come right back at him again.
Sa round number 6, mas naging tactical si Hood. Ginamit niya ang jab at galaw para pigilan ang pressure ni Duran.
Well, on the assumption that it goes to 12 rounds, we've got scoring by the referee, which is a bit unusual by the WBC. There's no really conformity in their rules, or anybody else's for that.
Yeah, well, I tend to feel that Hood does better when he allows Duran to lead off and he comes back with counters. When he leads off himself, he seems to be getting caught with too many counters as he backs away.
One thing. He's got a good variety of punches too, but
He hasn't really been allowed to use his variety because he can't pin this fellow down. A real little sharp mover, a good couple of shots from Hood, and then Duran comes back with a nice counter of his own. But this really is good action now.
really do raise the rafters here when they get in the middle of this action there, and Donnie Hood.
Sa round number 7, nagpakita muli ng puso si Duran. Naghahanap ng knockout o malinaw na puntos. Isang malinaw na round para sa Pilipinong si Samuel Duran.
A couple of dangerous shots there from Duran. A nice over the top right hand followed by a nice little uppercut. Two good punches from the champion.
Both absorbing punches well, Duran.
The shot is bang on and hasn't troubled him in the slightest. Just keeps coming forward. Certainly a tough little fellow, and he shook Hood up with a couple of good shots right at the start of the round. Duran is the one who's stepping up the pace now, Reg. He's forcing Hood back. And thankfully these long range right hands are missing because he's beginning to get a little power into his punches.
So coming up then to the end of the 7th, and no sign of the pace slackening.
Pagpatak ng round number 8, dito makikita pa rin ang patuloy na pag-abante at pag-atake ng tubong Bukidnon na si Samuel Duran. Walang takot ito na bumabato ng mga jabs at mga kombinasyon na hindi nagpapatinag at hindi papayag na maagaw sa kanya ang titulong WBC International Bantamweight title.
Of authority, and Duran for me had a little bit more fire in his belly in the 7th round. So Hood, I would imagine, will be looking for a good round in the 8th here.
person was predicting that Hood would come on strong in the final part, the last 12 rounds, as it were.
Yeah, well, as I said earlier, Hood is not really a single punch boxer. His best performances is when he can get the punches flowing in 3s and 4s. It's not easy with this little fellow because he's so shifty and so quick. But Hood is really going to have to move forward and get the punches flowing. He's going to have to take a couple in return, obviously, but I don't think single punches are the answer to this fellow.
He just moved, inched a bit closer there, Duran, and shot a good right-hand punch over. Oh, it's his turn now to double up the punches. Duran, good there. And when that punch landed there, right in the back of the hall, they could see it and probably feel it, weren't they, cheering Hood?
Still a cracking pace, Reg. It hasn't altered in the slightest. Really a cracking pace for a 12-rounder.
Sa round number 9, dito, tila nagpasikilab na si Samuel Duran. Naging agresibo ito at tumatama ang mga kombinasyon. Makikitang nayayanig ang hometown hero na si Donnie Hood na animoy nalalagay na sa alanganin. Ngunit ganun pa man, makikita rin ang puso ni Donnie Hood na ayaw mapahiya sa harap ng kanyang mga kababayan.
Playing the first and only blood of the contest, actually. He's a bit blooded around the nose there in the 9th, Hood.
Yeah, some good work there from Hood.
Absolutely, he's come out in the 10th to say, well, it wasn't too good a 9th, but I'm going to try and make up for that. Now, he's showing his strength by even shoving Duran back there when he had to. I enjoyed a contest more than this for a long time, Jim.
Now, this is a good battle, right? Two good quality fighters, two good thinking fighters. A lot of the punches haven't landed cleanly simply because they both have good reflexes, just slipping inside the punches and slipping away from them. But a good battle, and Hood really started the 10th round here well. I wonder if he can sustain it.
Just having a bit of a breather there, and you can't blame them. Such a fast start, not only to the contest, but particularly in that round. Showing just a few contusions of battle there, actually, with the face.
Well, Duran hasn't had too much success in this round. Hood has managed to drop the pace that little bit, which suits him at this moment.
Sa round number 11, nanatiling agresor at nagpapakita ng tapang ang Pilipinong si Samuel Duran. Siya ang nag-uumpisa ng aksyon habang si Donnie Hood ay nag-aabang ng mga counter. Sa round na ito, makikita ang power na dala ni Samuel Duran na hindi hayaang masungkit ang titulo mula sa kanya.
rounds of such a hard fight is just keep pumping your man up, just appeal to his pride and everything else, just to keep him churning out. I don't think it's tactics nowadays, I think it's just keeping him moving, keeping that desire there, but that's never a problem with Hood.
This round particularly, Duran's punches are falling short too much, so Hood scoring well, at least that's the way we see it. Whether the judges and the referee will, we'll find out soon.
Well, that's been the case in the early rounds. I think Hood's good defensive boxing. He wasn't really taking too many punches, he was slipping and leaving a lot of Duran's lead short, and I think that's what's just been keeping things slightly in his favour.
I know one thing, Jim, I hope it hasn't the makings of a good draw, because if it is, it means that Duran keeps the championship. And what a good finish it is to the 11th round. I think Hood looks as though he's cut a bit, and yes, he is on the forehead there, Jim, just above the eye.
Sa round number 12, hindi batid ang pagod sa dalawa. Parehong walang umatras, parehong umaatake. Si Duran naghahanap ng isang malaking suntok na tatapos sa hometown hero ng Scotland. Dito ibubuhos na ng dalawa ang natitirang lakas. Walang desperasyon, puro determinasyon. Isang klasikong final round na maaaring magdikta ng buong laban.
The referee in this case does vote, and the two judges to compile then, and Ray Clark from London, also representing the World Boxing Council as a supervisor, confirms the decision. He wouldn't alter it, but make sure that the cards are filled in correctly and correctly signed. Those cheers do actually bounce off the walls and the rafters here, don't they? They really echo through it.
Yeah, well, it's been a great battle, and the crowd have really got behind Donnie Hood to lift him. I think especially when he needed it round about the 9th and 10th round, where he seemed to be stagged slightly, but he's come firing back. The 10th and 11th round, he's certainly got his act back together again, and he's up to now he's having a good last round. So he wants to be nice and careful, nice and busy, and hopefully the title's going to change hands.
Face blooded there, Jim, or is he cut over the other eye? I think it's just probably a smear from the existing cut.
Yeah, I think it's the same cut, Reg. I don't think he's cut again.
Minute to go. Jim, I'll put you on the spot. How do you score it here now?
Yeah, well, I feel myself leaning towards Hood. I think, as I said earlier, good defensive boxing in the early stages, and there wasn't too often in the fight when he took punches without reply. So he's had a couple of very good rounds. The champion's only had one big round in my book, so I think everything sways towards a close victory for young Donnie Hood. Hopefully the referee and the officials will see it the same way. But I think he's just put his punches together a little bit better, and just kept himself in front all the way through.
And he is slightly cut around the right eye, so just as well that this is the last round now for Hood. But I think his punches have been more correct, more telling, and despite a really competent little champion, this exciting fellow, I think Hood deserves the championship. And what a lovely sporting finish there. They immediately looked at each other, neither of them held their...
Tapos ang buong 12 rounds, naglabas na ng desisyon ang mga hurado.
Referee Arman Creef, judge the contest, 112, Duran, 118 Hood. Judge Rivo Chavez, 117 Duran, 115 Hood. Judge Mickey Van, Duran, 113, Hood, 116. The winner and the new WBC Bantamweight champion.
Wagito, via split decision at nakuha ang WBC International Bantamweight title ng Pilipino. Si Donnie Hood ang panalo sa papel. Pero si Samuel Duran ay panalo sa puso ng maraming tagahanga. Ngayon, kung ikaw ang tatanungin sa 12 rounds na yun, sino ang panalo para sa iyo? I-comment mo ang score mo. I-like ang video kung gusto mo ang ganitong classic boxing breakdown. At mag-subscribe sa ating channel para mas marami pang kwento ng mga laban na humuhubog sa kasaysayan ng boxing. Hanggang sa susunod na laban. Paalam!